All right. So let's go into what a freelancer can do to create the possibility of income projects. Now, there are few challenges that I want to talk about first, and then we will get into the action steps, what we can do. So the challenge is you're trying to engage with possibility here. And when you want to engage with possibility, you have to let go of certainty. So we are trying to create change. We are trying to shift from I don't have a client to I have a series of clients. There are people interested in hiring me, paying me, so on. So we are looking at change. So status quo is not a friend here. All right. And so the more we stick to certainty, the less we are likely to engage with possibility. So that's the one challenge where fear will show up, where anxiety will show up, where self doubt will show up, self sabotage will show up. So we need to be aware as freelancers that these challenges are going to be there. And then we can create the conditions where we can take action despite these challenges. That's number one. Number two, you are not hiring yourself. So your financial situation, your decision making regarding purchases, your, you know, uh, how you go about things is not relevant for someone who is going to hire you. And that's a big space. Like, that's a big challenge. That's the challenge of empathy. And that is where most freelancers struggle because they say, hey, I am here. I am struggling to pay rent. How can I charge someone $300 an hour? How can I charge someone $75 an hour? Why would someone pay $75 an hour? Oh, I love doing this. This doesn't seem like work. Why would anyone pay me to do this? And that stops us because then we are being selfish. Then we are not letting this, self-centeredness, keeping it aside and saying, oh, that person who has the money, let's say you are a architect or an interior designer, right? That person who just bought an house wants an interior designer who listens to her, who understands her life, who understands her her choices, what she is, and then helps design her house so that she feels good while living in that house. And you, the interior designer, is capable of giving that gift to her, and she doesn't care that you charge $5,000 for this project because she has spent maybe $100,000 or more on the house, right? But we fixate. Now, adding the third challenge here, we fixate on what we know. So a photographer would say, oh, my camera is this many pixels and this thing and that thing. Or an interior designer would say, would you want lights from here and this? That's your work. They don't understand it. If you are a tech person, they don't understand open source and self-hosting and this and that. That's your job. But your work is to listen to the client, is to understand what emotional journey the client is going through, is to understand where the client is and where they need to be and what's stopping them from going from where they are to where they need to be, and being that conduit to help them do that. And then what they pay is a return gift because you have given a gift much larger than the amount they are paying you. But what do we do as freelancers? Most freelancers is we obsess about me, me, me. I want to do this kind of work. I want to be appreciated. I want to. And that's why we struggle because the last thing that client cares about is your problems. So the more you focus on your problems, the more your problems are going to compound, and the more you're going to focus on your problems, and it's a vicious cycle. So, challenges, right? We have to change, right? We don't have clients. We are going for change. So if we want things to change, fear will show up, self doubt will show up, self sabotage will show up, procrastination will show up. Yeah. So one challenge. Second challenge. It's not about you. It's about someone who you are helping. And in return, they are paying you and they're happy to pay you because they don't want to do the work themselves. They don't want to even, sometimes they don't even want to understand. Like I got an electrician to fix some things in my house, and that guy was explaining, oh, this wire is coming from there. I'm like, I don't know. Can you please fix it? Right? Right? Was polite. I was not like brash, but I'm just trying to help you understand how much this stops us from doing good work, right? And then this empathy piece again comes into the pricing piece, because someone who has bought a $5 million house and you want to do the interior designing there, and you are charging $500 for your service, and you're saying you are best, isn't going to work. It doesn't matter if 500 pays your rent, right? If they are looking for someone who they consider is good, and someone who's good, let's say for them, charges 10,000 and you charge 15,000, and they're like, okay, why are you charging 15? And then you can give them a story that makes sense. They would be happy to hire you. If you charge 8,000 and you say, oh, I am the discounted one and the person is looking for a discounted one, good for you. But it's always better to be, not always, but I think it might be better to be at the 15,000 level. All right. So empathy, possibility are challenges, like change, possibility and change, right? That's our challenge. Empathy is our challenge. Self doubt is our challenge. All right. So let's talk about what we can do and what different areas do we need to change.